This is the updated MG ZS EV, arguably one of the best value electric cars on the market right now. The new ZS EV gets updated styling outside, upgraded infotainment inside, and most importantly a larger battery, which means more range than before. Prices for the ZS EV start from around €32,000 in Ireland, and it has an electric range of up to 440 kilometres from a single charge. It goes up against other popular electric cars like the Nissan Leaf, Hyundai Kona and Kia e-Niro. In this video we'll show you inside and outside the ZS EV and tell you everything you need to know, but before we start remember to check out Carzone.ie to find MGs for sale in Ireland from trusted sellers. Starting outside, the ZS EV has received some subtle styling updates, most notably up front. This includes redesigned LED headlights and a new body-coloured front grille which looks nice. There's also a new charge port door which is better than the somewhat flimsy one on the previous model, along with LED lights to indicate what percentage the battery is at when you are charging from the outside. Along the sides there aren't many changes, but it is worth noting that the ZS EV gets keyless entry as standard, while higher spec models get nice silver roof rails. It has restyled 17-inch alloy wheels as standard, but there isn't an option to upgrade to a larger wheel size. Towards the rear the changes are minimal once again, with restyled bumpers and LED lights. There are 5 colour choices and Arctic White is standard, but this eye-catching brilliant blue metallic is an optional extra. In Ireland, the entry model is the ZS EV Excite, and it has a 72.6 kilowatt-hour battery with a claimed range of up to 440 kilometres. It gets 100 kilowatt DC charging also, while prices for that one start from €31,995. This one is the higher spec exclusive model which starts from €34,995. It has the same battery and charging setup, but it gets some upgrades like the silver roof rails, a panoramic sunroof, heated door mirrors and a lot more which we will go into later. Stepping inside, the ZS EV's interior is surprisingly good given its competitive price tag. There are some updates inside, including a new 10.1-inch touchscreen infotainment system, which is a big improvement on the system in the old model. The system is relatively easy to use and it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto both built in as standard, which is a good thing. It is nice to see that there are plenty of physical buttons for controlling the infotainment system and also adjusting the air conditioning. While there are better infotainment systems on the market and some of the menus are difficult to access at times, it should cater to most buyers' needs given the ZS EV's competitive price tag. There is also a new digital driver's display behind the steering wheel which shows your key driving information and battery usage, although some of the text in this is a bit on the small side. Overall, the fit and finish of the interior is good, with soft materials across the dashboard, although there are some harder plastics in places, especially on the doors. This is to be expected, however, at this price point. The ZS EV feels spacious up front and the driving position is quite high. There's plenty of adjustment available through the driver's seat also, although the steering wheel only adjusts for rake but not for reach, which is a bit unfortunate. There's good storage too, with an area underneath the driver's armrest here. There is 2 cup holders and there's also plenty of space in the doors for larger water bottles. In the centre console area there is a useful wireless smartphone charger in this higher spec model, along with a USB charge point, a USB-C charge point and a 12-volt socket. It's also nice to see that there is another USB charge point beside the rear view mirror for those who use dash cams. The centre console area has this nice dial controller for selecting drive, park and reverse, along with a button for the electric handbrake. Beside this there are some nice toggle switches for selecting driving modes like Eco, Normal and Sport, along with a button to adjust the level of regenerative braking. The ZS EV has good space in the rear seats too, with enough space to accommodate 2 adults comfortably, although this middle seat is a bit on the narrow side. There's good amounts of legroom and headroom in the rear seats, while this full-length panoramic sunroof in this higher spec exclusive model floods light into the cabin, making it feel more spacious back here. Elsewhere in the rear there is a USB charge point and another USB-C charge point here, along with storage pockets in the backs of the seats, while there's also a comfortable armrest with 2 cup holders built in. There's also 2 sets of ISOFIX mounts in the rear of the ZS EV, and the slightly raised ride height of the car will be useful for those who are lifting children in and out. Boot space in the ZS EV is good. With 470 litres of room, it's more than you get in the Nissan Leaf. It also has a height adjustable boot floor as standard, which is useful for storing your charge cables underneath the floor. Drop the rear seats down and space increases to over 1100 litres. There is a noticeable step up from the boot to the seats however, which may make it difficult to slide large items in and out. That's because the batteries are located underneath the rear seats, but you can solve this issue by adjusting the height of the boot floor. Unfortunately, there isn't any storage space underneath the bonnet in the ZS EV like you get in some other EVs. Other than this slightly flimsy parcel shelf, there is little to give out about in terms of boot space in the ZS EV. The new ZS EV has a larger 72.6 kWh battery with a claimed range of up to 440 kilometers, which is a big improvement on the old ZS EV, which had a smaller 44.5 kWh battery delivering up to 263 kilometers of range. The new model also has more power than before, with 156 horsepower going to the front wheels through a single electric motor, with 0 to 100 kilometers an hour taking 8.4 seconds, which is reasonable. The ZS EV isn't especially heavy though, which means it is quite efficient and it feels responsive to drive at lower speeds, offering plenty of zip for day-to-day needs. There are 3 different levels of regenerative braking available through a toggle switch on the centre console, varying from light to what feels almost like one-pedal driving in the highest setting. You can also adjust the responsiveness of the acceleration with different driving modes including Eco, Normal and Sport. While the ZS EV feels lively in sport mode, the wheels tend to spin easily in wet conditions. As a result, we spent most of our time driving it in eco mode to achieve the most battery range. In terms of efficiency, we achieved around 18.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers of driving in cold, wintry conditions over mixed driving routes, or approximately 370 kilometers from a full charge. For the most part, the ZS EV is relaxing to drive, it's quiet around town and smooth at motorway speeds with light steering and decent sound insulation. It's also worth noting that the electric motor doesn't whine as loudly as before, it's much quieter. On bumpier road surfaces, the ZS EV can feel a bit unsettled however. This is more noticeable than before due to the extra weight of the larger battery and the suspension bounces noticeably. In terms of charging, the ZS EV can charge at up to 100 kilowatts, so it will take around 42 minutes to charge up to 80% with a rapid charger. Charging at home with a standard 7 kilowatt domestic charger can deliver a full charge in around 10.5 hours overnight. The ZS EV also gets MG's Pilot Driver Assistance systems as standard, including adaptive cruise control, traffic jam assist, lane keep assist, active emergency braking and lots more, which takes some getting used to at first. In Ireland, the ZS EV is available in 2 different specifications, Excite and Exclusive. The entry Excite starts from €31,995, including the SEAI grant and VRT relief, and it is well equipped with features such as LED headlights, rear parking sensors, electric mirrors, keyless entry and start, the digital driver's display and 10.1-inch touchscreen infotainment system, a 360-degree parking camera, sat-nav, 17-inch alloy wheels and lots more. The higher spec Exclusive model, which is the one that we're driving here, starts from €34,995 and it gets additional features such as silver roof rails, heated mirrors, rain sensing wipers, a panoramic sky roof, a 6-speaker audio system with 3D sound, a wireless smartphone charger, leather style upholstery, electric driver's seat adjustment, heated seats and lots more. So, should you buy the MG ZS EV? Well, if you're looking for an affordable and practical electric car that has an increased range and a strong level of standard equipment, it is definitely one to consider. There are some cheap materials to be found inside the ZS EV, however, while it isn't as fun to drive as some of its EV rivals. That said, most buyers will be able to look past this as the ZS EV is competitively priced and offers a long warranty period also. Check out Carzone.ie to read our full written review of the new MG ZS EV, where you can also find examples for sale in Ireland from trusted sellers.